Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Kendrick Lamar right here with GRM Daily. Y'all stay tuned.
If you wanna know what's going on, ladies, GRM, check it out on the damn GRM, check it out on the damn GRM, we're doing it, damn GRM.
What's good, folks? It's DJ Snips, GRM Daily. I'm here, man of the moment. Actually, I shouldn't even say man of the moment, because if you got your ear to the streets, you know it's been a man for a minute. Kendrick Lamar. What's good, sir?
What's going on, man?
How you enjoying London so far?
I love London, beautiful people. I like the gloominess right now too of the weather, so y'all got it.
Only someone not from London would like the gloominess of London, I gotta say that.
Yeah.
So the album's out. Congratulations first off on making a classic.
Appreciate it.
Because definitely is that. Firstly, I hate when people just instantly go on and talk about sales, but did you expect to sell this much out the gate? That's what you did?
Yeah, definitely. Just off the simple fact, I know people appreciate, the newer generation appreciate actual body of work. And for a long time, the reason why I'm here now is because my music, was good enough for people to talk about it. We didn't ever have any money to go out and have distribution and stuff.
Yeah.
Everything was just word of mouth.
Yeah.
And I knew once it came out, more people talk about it, more people talk about it from the second day to the third day to the fourth day, all the way to that week. And that's exactly what happened, because when the projections came out, they kept jumping every day.
Yeah.
And exactly what we planned, make something, worry about the music first before we get into the craziness of, having a hit record or a single and all this crazy stuff. And let it do what it do, and that's exactly what happened.
I definitely knew something was special when you came over for the first show that you did, and you sold out a venue that I think holds over 1,000 people. You did it twice.
Yeah.
Like right now, I kind of feel as far as the new generation of artists that comes through, that's coming through, you've got yourself that would kind of, and I don't like to categorize people, but for want of a better word, would fit more into the conscious side of things, and then ASAP is the guy who's kind of more on the flashy fashion tip or whatever.
Right.
But you guys definitely have a great relationship.
Yeah.
So like, how did that relationship kind of start? Because you guys are quite different as artists.
I think it really just came about, just being around each other so much.
Right.
TD and ASAP were real tight knit. It just so happened we was falling in different spots at the same time a lot of times, and those were some real genuine dudes.
Yeah.
And we just built this type of brotherhood, man, where we respect each other, not only from the music end world, but as a person, as people.
I wanted to talk about the record on the album, the MC8 record.
Yeah. It defines Compton today, as far as the first track.
Yeah.
With this energy, high bass, up tempo, bounce.
Yeah.
All the way to the 90s feel, and I just really want to express, just the energy surrounding the city. And the perfect way to do that was get somebody that I listened to growing up.
Yeah.
That really defined that era back in the days, growing up in the 90s. So it worked out.
For being a Nas fan, I could almost feel like I've been to Queensbridge from listening to Nas. Being a Jay fan, you could feel like you've been in Brooklyn. And definitely listening to your album, it almost feels like, having never been there, you could still have an understanding of Compton as a city, and understand what life will be about there.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. It gets tricky too. Being in the studio, because you want to make this masterpiece. That's not only real to you and your crew, but outside of that, you want to make it universal where everybody can feel it and understand it. And that's the tricky part. And sometimes it's unexplainable. You go through your nicks and knacks to make it work like that, and I think this album did just that.
And you were saying before about the second part of the song having a 90s feel. I definitely think your music in general, it's quite evident that you have a lot of influence from that era of hip hop. What kind of got you into that? Because obviously a lot of the music that you might have been influenced by may have come out before you were old enough to really be checking for music like that.
Yeah, I think it just comes from the fact that I had a bunch of older cousins.
Right.
And my father and uncles, and that was the music they was playing.
Right.
They weren't playing anything outside of that, outside of West Coast gangster rap. So whether I know it or not, being a kid, eventually that will always be inside of me. That type of, from the production, to the melodies that I have in my music, all of that will, is still in me. Whether I like it or not, I go in the studio and that's gonna come out.
It's natural.
It's not nothing I'm chasing. Like you said, I think it really is the best of both worlds, because anybody can listen to this album. From a 40-year-old, to a 13-year-old,
definitely
20-year-old.
obviously the gang culture history in LA is deep to the point where, you know, your gang affiliation might be specific to go back as far as your parents or your grandparents, or, you know, like it's something that's really deeply ingrained in the city. The whole Blood and Crip thing is obviously, you're seeing almost copycats of that all over the world, to the point where even in London you've got kids that are running around throwing up blue or red flags. Like, how do you feel about that when you see that in other places?
It's crazy to me, you know, because I being in comedy, I didn't start traveling until I was about 21. You know, I'm 25 now, so going to New York when you're 21, you think only Compton live this and breathe this. And it just feels weird, you know, when you see a different type of lifestyle rather than, you know, Chucks or white tees, you know, saying Blood or Crip. It feels weird because you don't think that a person can look like that and look like that and I still identify with what something I've seen my whole life. And it just feels weird, you know. And my thing is, it's a consequence for everything. I just hope they know what they're getting themselves into. I don't knock, you know, any place. Every place has a ghetto, and every place has you know, people that's, you know, really down for the cause, you know, to represent whatever they want to represent. And that's something I had to understand, you know, just by seeing that. And at the end of the day, it always bleed back to LA and breathe that. And it's a bittersweet type of deal because you see people embracing the actual culture, but you really don't want that type of madness that you have in LA to go around the world and spread like wildfire with these kids.
Oh, well, look, we want to thank you for your time, man, and you know, much success to you.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy London.
Appreciate it.
If you wanna know what's going on, lady, GRM, check it out on the damn GRM, check it out on the damn GRM, GRM.